Now, talking about the steps in the knowledge engineering. Knowledge engineering generally involves five basic steps. When we are talking about knowledge engineering, what is the first and foremost thing that we want? If you want to have, if you want to draw conclusion related to any particular field, so we want to gather the knowledge about it. So the very first step in this field of knowledge engineering is knowledge gathering. So now this knowledge gathering, it is done from various sources like some text, some human experts, some big data repositories, some sensors. Any of these things, it can serve as a data source. So the very first thing, the very first step in the process of knowledge engineering is the knowledge gathering. This knowledge gathering, we can attain the knowledge when we are trying to build any expert system with the help of this knowledge engineering. So we are going to attain the knowledge in the same domain. We can use the knowledge of the human expert. We can use various books. We can use various texts in the field of knowledge engineering. We can use big data repositories in the field of knowledge engineering. So the very first thing is gathering the knowledge. Now coming to the second step. Now we have gathered the knowledge. Now the knowledge is verified using the test cases that human experts run to ensure that they are correct. Now we have to verify our knowledge. Not that we have attained the knowledge from the expert, from various sources and all. We believe that knowledge and depending on that we can draw the conclusion. No, this knowledge has to be first of all verified that it is this knowledge that we have stored into our knowledge base, it is all correct or not. For doing that, we use various test cases to ensure that the knowledge is correct. Now, the third step is organization of the knowledge. Now, whatever knowledge, it is gathered and it is verified. Now, this has to be organized. This has to be encoded and it has to be provided in the knowledge base. We have to organize and encode it into such a form so that it can be stored in a formatted way into our knowledge base. So that is the third step in knowledge engineering. Talking about the fourth one, software, it makes inferences based on the organized and the encoded knowledge. Whatever knowledge it has gained, now it will make inferences based on this knowledge. It will make certain conclusion based on this knowledge. So this is going to be the fourth step. Fifth is an explanation is devised to explain the basis for a certain conclusion. Now we have derived to the conclusion, but we here require the explanation for that conclusion, that how has this conclusion reached. So basically when we talk about knowledge engineering, there are five basic steps which are involved into this process of knowledge engineering. First is knowledge gathering. Second is verification of that knowledge. Third is organization of that knowledge in a formatted way. Fourth is to draw the inferences or the conclusions from that knowledge. And the fifth one is to provide the explanation for those conclusions. So these are the basic five steps in knowledge engineering. The most important step in the process is to ensure that knowledge base is accurate and timely. Now, we have done all these steps. But what do we require? We require that we keep on updating our knowledge base again and again on the timely basis. So it is another process that is required. We need to ensure that the knowledge base, it is accurate and it is timely. Not that what is the conclusion today, for tomorrow also it should remain the same. No, we need to timely update our information, update our knowledge. Another important aspect of the knowledge engineering process is to have a human agent who ensures that the system, it is doing its job. The engineer, they will develop the rules for the system so it functions like the human and reaches the same conclusion as the human expert. So for the engineer, the knowledge engineering engineer who are working in this field, they will develop certain rules for the system. so that it functions like the human. How do the humans function? How do they draw the conclusion? What permutation combination they perform into their brain to reach to the conclusion in a particular field? So for that thing, these knowledge engineers, they work on this particular knowledge engineering field. So these are few steps, few things which are uh, which should be ensured to derive the correct conclusions from the knowledge engineering approach. Talking about the importance of knowledge engineering, why is this knowledge engineering important? First one, it speeds the decision making system. The AI capabilities of these systems, they speed up the information processing and the decision making. They help in speeding up these processes. So basically, when we are talking about this knowledge engineering, the first thing that it performs is it speeds the decision making process. A knowledge engineering system, it can identify a task and can work toward a logical conclusion using that expertise. So the very first important point, why do we need, what is the importance of knowledge engineering, is it speeds the decision making process. Second, it handles the large data sets. As the organization, they deal with increasingly large quantities of data, so they need a way to efficiently process it and make decisions, which knowledge engineering it provides. So basically, it handles a large data set. This is another important point about this knowledge engineering. Third is it develops the expert system. Knowledge engineering, it results in the expert system which can be used in various industries: medicine, engineering, finance. Everywhere these expert system can be used. So using this knowledge engineering, we can develop the expert system. For example, the financial expert system, it provides advice on the investment decision, the portfolio management, and the risk assessment. So if we are working in the field of finance, we have built a particular expert system for the field of finance. So the way the humans who are working in this field of finance, they will provide you certain decision on the basis of which you can make your investment. In the very similar way, the expert system which are built for the field of finance, they will perform the same function. It will give you advice on the investment decision. It will give you advice on the basis of portfolio management, your risk assessment. So this knowledge engineering, it provides a way to develop the expert system. Fourth one, it creates the decision support system. Knowledge engineering, it provides the information and the tools people need to make better decision. So for this, the knowledge engineering, they will provide the tools which are required to make certain decision, which are required to reach to certain conclusions. So this decision support system, they can be again used in various fields, whether healthcare, well, manufacturing, retail, space research, finance, anywhere and everywhere these decision support system can be used. So when we talk about the importance of knowledge engineering, why is this knowledge engineering important? First of all, it speeds up the decision making process. Second, it can handle the large data set. Thirdly, it can develop the expert system. Fourthly, it can create the decision support systems. So that is why we say this field of knowledge engineering, it is important because it will provide us with these important things related to the decision support system, expert system, handling the large data set, and speeding up the decision making process. So that is why it is important into to work in this field of knowledge engineering. Talking about the development of expert system, if we are trying to develop an expert system, what are the various tasks, what is the whole process that we need to follow? The basic task that we need to follow when we are trying to build an expert system is to work on the background of the problem. Whenever a problem arises and we're trying to build some expert system or trying to use certain expert system, first of all we need to understand the background of it. Then we need to work on the conceptual knowledge related to that particular thing. We need to work on the concepts. Now, when we are trying to build an expert system, we need to select the problem. On which basis, on what thing are we going to build our expert system? So, this is the third step, which is known as the problem selection. Then we have the next step, that is knowledge acquisition. Now we have selected our problem on which we are going to build our expert system. Now the next step would be to acquire the knowledge into that field. Now this knowledge acquisition, it can be done from various resources, using some human expert, using some text, using some books, or anywhere. So the next step would be the acquisition of that knowledge. After that, we have to do the representation of the knowledge. We have acquired the knowledge, we have to now represent that knowledge into a well formatted way. We have to put a proper format, proper way in which this knowledge which is acquired, it can be represented. After that, we have to do the process of tool selection. We have to select various tools which are required to build the expert system. So, after the knowledge representation, we have to select the various tools which are required for this. Next would be the development process. This is the main step. Now we have acquired the knowledge, we have represented the knowledge in a well formatted way, we have selected the tools that we are going to use for the purpose. Now our task would be to develop that expert system. So the main and important part here, this will involve all kind of coding, this will involve the usage of all these tools. So this is the most important step, which is the development process, in which our development of the software, development of the expert system, it will take place. Now, the next step after the development process, once it is built, it cannot be put into use. No, before that, we need to do the testing. We need to do the verification and we need to integrate various modules of it. So once this development process is done, our next step in the field of this expert system, building this expert system, it is to test the product that we have developed. We have to verify that whatever we have attained, whatever knowledge we are using this expert system, is it all correct or not. So for that thing, we need to do the testing. We need to do the verification of our process. After testing and verification and integration are done, next would be the implementation. The Once we have tested, we have verified our product, now we need to implement it. We need to put it into the use. We need to implement it at a proper place where it can be utilized in a proper way. So that is the next step, that is implementation. And the final step would be the maintenance. Not that we have implemented the product, we have developed the product and it is all done. No, no, no. We need to do the maintenance part. We need to maintain our product. We need to maintain that expert system. For that, we using our expert system, there are, because it is a technical thing, there are some errors that may occur when we start using them. So there it requires certain form of maintenance for that product to keep on working in a well formatted way, and for the timely updation of the knowledge, of maintaining the knowledge base, doing it all accurately, the whole set of maintenance part is required. So these are the various tasks which are involved in the development of expert system, beginning from understanding the background of the problem, then understanding the various concepts, then selecting the problem for which we are going to build it, acquiring the knowledge representation, tool selection, development process, testing, verification and integration, then implementation, and the final step is the maintenance of our expert system. So these are the tasks involved in the development of our expert system. So some latest development in the expert system area, if we talk about what are the latest development, what are the latest things that are getting worked on in the field of expert system area are, first of all, availability of many tools that are designed for building these kind of expert system. Nowadays there is in the market there is availability of many and many tools which can be designed to expedite the construction of expert system at a very reduced cost. If we are today, we have a finance company, we are trying to build an expert system for our finance company. So there are various tools available in the market with the help of which we can design the expert system which can work, which can help us in providing the financial decisions to the people, which can work as the expert, human expert, which can work to provide the expertise in that particular field. So for now today there are many tools available in the market to expedite the construction of the expert system at a very reduced cost. Second, increased use of expert system in many tasks ranging from help desk to complex military and space shuttle application. Today these expert systems, they can be used at the help desk. We do not require a human to sit on the help desk and whenever the people they are arriving answering them with the same questions. Generally, suppose we have a help desk at the airport. What does happen? The people who are coming, they have this very similar question related to how, when is this flight, when will this go, or related to anything. They will have the similar question. So at that place we can apply our expert system, and to the various complex application like for the military and even the space shuttle application we can use our expert system. Thirdly, we can use these expert system, they use multiple knowledge bases. Various knowledge bases can be used when we are trying to build these expert system. Fourth one, improvement in knowledge acquisition. Today, when we try to build such expert system, acquiring of knowledge, it has not remained limited. We have improvement in knowledge acquisition. We can acquire the knowledge from various resources. So when we talk about building such expert system, we can apply this, we can acquire the knowledge from anywhere. So there's improvement in the knowledge acquisition in this field of expert system. Then use of internet to disseminate the software and expertise. Obviously today the solution for all the problem is our internet. We can distribute our software, we can share our knowledge, we can use the expertise with the help of internet. So that is another development in this field of expert system. Then we have increased use of object oriented programming approach in the knowledge representation. Today for representing the knowledge we use the object oriented approach, where we divide our things into certain objects. We derive some attributes of those objects, and understanding, creating those attributes, we can reach to the conclusions. So basically today we are using the object oriented programming approach for representing this knowledge. Then the knowledge, the multiple use of heuristic knowledge in several applications. Today we are working on the reinforcement learning. We like the humans, what happens, we learn every day from our experiences. So today when we are building such expert system, not that whatever knowledge we have stored into the databases, those knowledge only will be used and followed by the conclusion. No, they can use a heuristic knowledge depending on the experiences, depending on the learning. If some conclusion goes wrong, it will redo the job, and in a way it will use its experiences, it will use a heuristic knowledge in several applications. So that is another development in this field of knowledge engineering or expert area we can say. Then it enables the user to think about hypothetical reasoning. Hypothetical reasoning today, it can also be done using these expert system. So these are the few developments which have taken place in this field of expert system nowadays. So with this, we conclude with this particular unit of artificial intelligence.